Now, Kyle, I put Kyle on the channel a bunch of times with his truck and his Ram, because this Ram's a beast. Now, this Ram, as of right now, is the first and only bolt-on Ram to ever get into the 11s. Bolt-ons, you know, just headers, intake, tune, exhaust. Basically, that's it. Maybe a clutch fan delete, and you know, very simple, very easy mods. When I did a video on 3 simple mods that run 12s, he probably put on a couple more mods and did 11s, which is absolutely insane. No Ram has ever ran 11s with just bolt-ons. No Ram has even come close. There's a couple that ran mid-12s, but no one's even come close to running what this thing has ran, especially on bolt-ons. Now, he actually had the NA record for, I'd say, almost a year. The 5.7 record, the NA 5, actually the NA record in general he had for about a year, until it was broken by Jay and Jason DeRay and a couple other guys have now broken it now. Sean from Hemi Fever and another guy, I forget his name, he has a blue Ram. They've all went 11s, but they also did it with heads, cam, and you know, a lot more heads and cam alone, and a torque converter. That's a big mod from just having, you know, basic bolt-ons with headers, tune, intake. Now, yeah, Kyle does prep. He preps very well. He does what I do. He basically takes out almost anything he can to go to the drag strip and get the best time that he can, which is, you know, you got to. If you're in a big, heavy truck, you gotta prep. You gotta be able to prep, especially if you're trying to run Mustangs, Camaros, or anything that has the nitrous boost. You gotta have the advantage, because these Rams are the heaviest trucks out there. We don't, as of, you know, the Fords are all aluminum bodies. They weigh nothing. They are very, very light. Me gutting out my entire truck, tailgate spare 17s and stuff, basically with a 4-door, 4-wheel drive F-150 is probably going to weigh very, very close to what I weigh like that, because it's all aluminum. It's a very light truck. Now, Kyle's truck, he does prep it well. It's a 2-door, two-wheel drive short bed Ram. And he preps it very good.
Who shot y'all? Separate the wheat from the oxen. Weak hard to creep in Brooklyn streets. It's all, nigga. Fuck all that bickering beef.
Now, Kyle's 11-second pass. He did only run the 11-second pass once, but he has run multiple 12-0s. I mean, multiple 12-0 passes. He's ran 12-1, not fully prepped. He also put all the to prove that how fast his truck is and how this guy can drive, how good of a driver he is. He actually put all the interior back on, the spare, the tailgate, everything. The only thing he took off, the only thing he had on still were his 17s with a Hoosier slicks, for traction, because on the it was cold when he ran it, and he needed for traction. So basically, he was full weight minus tires, and he still went 12-1. Insane of a time. He's done 12-2s and 2,000 plus DA, and for what he has done and how Kyle, I also hit Kyle up a bunch of times to get some pointers and tips. He's given me a lot of pointers and tips because he's been racing Rams longer than I have, and I've hit him up a couple of times saying, hey, like, what tire pressure you run on your slicks, how easy is it to take this take the tailgate off, spare. I've hit him up for tips a bunch of times, and he's helped me out a lot too in the racing game. Now that I have much more knowledge than I did when I first started 4 years ago or so. That even now I've hit him up a couple of times saying, hey, you having traction issues, something like that. I've had traction issues lately and stuff. But yeah, his bolt-ons include stainless works headers. He runs a track intake, clutch fan delete. I think he has ATI pulley. I'm not sure about the throttle body. I know he switched it out as of right now. I think he may have the stock one. I know he had a SRP ported throttle body, but that is basically it, and a cutout. That is basically it. That is not a lot of mods. 5-6 mods. He has a very he has a very small Circle D converter. It's like a 2400, 2500. It's not doing much, especially since he downgraded in gears. He had 392 gears and went to 355 because of the drive shaft issue. So he actually had the better gearing, downgraded, and put a baby converter on. And with the 355s and a small converter, he's actually 60 and almost the same as what he did with 392s. And so it didn't. The converter's really not doing much for him because it's such a small converter. It's only flashing a little higher than what the stock ones do. He did that just to save his drive shaft. He didn't want to go out and spend $1,400, wait 2 months for a drive shaft from DSS, because they're the only ones as of right now that I'm aware of that they can get the drive shaft for. So he did that and still running these great times. And please subscribe to his channel, Texas Hemi Performance. So he just started up again. He's been putting out some good videos, good tip videos. I want you all to subscribe to him. His truck is absolutely a beast. You know what I mean? He's giving me a lot of footage to put out. I would love to do an actual in-person drive, in person with his truck, but he's all the way out in Texas. I'm all the way in New Jersey. That's a 24-hour drive. There's no way, we can get this done. But I hit him up and I said, Kyle, I want to put your truck on the channel. I want to get your, more than what I put on before. I want to do an entire video on you and put all the racing and content in, because he ran 12.4 letting out after the 8th on street tires.
Got it. 12.66 or 64, something like that was a previous record.
He didn't completely let off the gas and cruise through, but he pedaled it at like 95 miles an hour through after the 8th mile just to make a pass, just to have, for a street tire record, which he doesn't even give a crap about a street tire record. He just did it just to put it on street tires. And the reason I think he had the pedal is because he had the front skinnies on, and with the street tires in the back, I think there was a lot of sway and stuff like that. So yeah, he did a 12.42 on street tires letting out at the 8th. So that says a lot, man. I want you guys to please subscribe to his channel, check him out, Kyle Tingle. I've had him on the channel before. I used his truck in a couple of thumbnails. Beautiful truck. It's clean and it's fast. And that's, you know, I'm going to throw some races up, watch what he does. Watch how hard this thing launches, even with a baby converter in it. And he's been in the Ram game a long time. He used to have an 03, I think, all red 4-door Ram that was running 7.9s in the 8th, absolutely sick. So the guy knows his stuff. And the biggest thing also is he is tuned by Jay. Like, Jay is tuning, you know, I'm not dissing on any other tuner, but I am going to promote the tuner that I have that I think is the best, and I think Jay is easily the best. There's, especially when it comes to NA records, there's no one that tunes an NA truck better than him. He has the NA record. I have an NA record. Kyle has an NA record. Jason has an NA record. And the only one that really has the full 5.7 NA record is Sean Powell, who is a tuner himself, and he dyno tuned it, then went to the track and got track tunes. Nothing wrong with that. That's great. But the only reason he has the quarter-mile record is because Jason DeRey's truck hasn't ran the quarter-mile in the same weather. He ran it in terrible weather and possibly ran a 12.0 in it. So in the 8th mile, Jason DeRey's truck actually has that record. But Kyle has something coming really, really soon. I don't know when he's going to be getting it in. It's not boost, I'll tell you that right now. But when he puts this in, there's not going to be a 5.7 truck NA without being forged or anything like that can touch it. It's going to be absolutely nasty. He's going to be running, I will easily say, I'm going to go with 11.5s. Considering he went 11.9, these mods should easily get him to 11.5s, possibly a little bit lower. And I want to see what this thing's going to do. It's going to be very exciting. Please check his channel out again. Subscribe. Texas Hemi Performance. He's going to be putting out more videos. And I told him, you know what I mean? So that's about it. And I'm going to put up a bunch of races so you can see how fast this thing is. Put up his time slips just to show you how nasty this truck is. All right, guys. Till the next one. Peace.